One of the biggest and worst things to happen in the AFL for quite some time. Our next guest is partner and head of personal injury law and litigation at Carbone Lawyers, John Karantzis. Good morning.
Morning, Tom.
Thank you for joining us. So, am I correct to say that you are representing two of the women who were involved in what happened at the Pullman Hotel in the early hours of Monday morning?
I can confirm that, Tom. Two of the three women that were involved in the events that happened on Monday morning. And, Tom, can I just say at the outset, with what has been alleged, these women were subjected to the most disgusting actions and behaviour I have ever heard about in my 28 years as a lawyer.
So in your professional life, this is allegedly one of the worst things you've ever seen or come across?
These women already have a difficult job, and what they were subjected to, it is alleged, was demeaning, abhorrent, and simply not moral or acceptable.
How are your clients at the moment?
Oh, they're suffering. They're suffering severe stress and anxiety. They're actually fearing for their life at the moment.
From whom? Have they had threats made against them?
There's a lot of interest in this case, and they are literally in hiding, and they are suffering.
Okay, so my understanding, and we'll speak in sort of general terms here, is that they were contacted by some of the players involved, invited to come up and perform certain services, in the realm of exotic dancing, or stripping as some people call it. But did things then get out of hand or go a lot further than what had been agreed?
Unfortunately, that's the case, Tom. Yeah, things got out of hand. I can't go into detail because this will be the subject of proceedings, criminal and civil. However, things got out of hand. The line was crossed, and unfortunately, what they've been subjected to is I literally cannot say it on the radio.
But it is very, very bad.
Oh, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And for this to occur in, a public setting with quite a few people involved, it's actually just unbelievable in this day and age that these type of actions can occur in public.
You mentioned quite a few people involved. Accounts seem to vary as to how many men were in the room, from 5 to as many as 11. Do you have a hard number on that?
It's more than 5, that's for sure.
More than 5?
Oh, yes.
So we won't say the names, but 5 names have been talked about in the media a lot the last few days. You're saying there were more than 5 men there?
More than 5 men, and it's alleged that there were even a few leaders in that room.
And when you say leaders, what do you mean? Like on-field player leaders or something else?
Something else.
Coaches?
Look, I can't confirm that. That's for the Sydney Swans to say. But what I can say also, Tom, is it was very disappointing to see that the Swans officials a couple of days ago apologising to their fans and the footy public in general for the actions, but there was no apology directed to the victims in this matter.
Yes.
I found that quite surprising.
Yes, and they made some comments early on to the effect of, the situation in which the players found themselves, as though they'd just been sort of grabbed and thrown into the middle of something, not instrumental in doing whatever happened. Tommy, one of your clients is quoted in our news as saying she doesn't want money, she wants justice. What does justice mean in this context?
I can't confirm whether or not that individual is my client or not.
Right.
However, my understanding is yes. The events and behaviours that they were subjected to, these women feel like enough is enough, that they do want justice. They want their voice to be heard.
But do they, for example, want criminal charges to be laid and heard in a court?
Look, that's a matter for the police, Tom. That's a matter for the police. But they've cooperated with the Victoria Police. Now everything's in the hands of the police. But what these women do want is the message to go out that this type of behaviour, particularly at a workplace, and for women that are already working in such a difficult job, is not acceptable.
In about an hour and 15 minutes, the Sydney Swans have scheduled a press conference. I have no idea what they're going to say. But what would you, or more importantly, what would your two clients like to see the club do now?
Well, an apology would be a good start. And cooperation with the Victoria Police in regards to this matter, and really probably full transparency as to who was involved and what occurred.
Are you saying that thus far the club has not been fully transparent?
That is my understanding.
Okay, well, that is interesting. Now, what about the AFL? The AFL has been quite silent about all this. Like, there's no sanction from the AFL either on the club or on any of the players involved. Would you like the AFL to be doing something else here?
Well, it's under their purview, isn't it, Tom? So I'm sure once the AFL is fully appraised of what's happened, and that may be through the court process and or through their own investigations, the AFL would make the appropriate sanctions.
Do you think what allegedly happened on Monday morning is a systemic issue in professional sport, particularly men's professional sport?
Tom, you and I have young daughters. We would be horrified if they were subjected to a tenth of what occurred on Monday morning.
Yeah, I agree about that from what I've heard. And
it's just, this type of behaviour is just not acceptable, and it keeps recurring, doesn't it? So I've got a lot of sympathy for these women. They've got a difficult job, and to be humiliated and degraded in this way, it's just not on. It's not acceptable.
To the extent that there might be criminal charges, do you have any idea of the timeline, or is that just completely up to the police?
Oh, it's completely up to the police, but I know the investigations are ongoing. But as you know, these things, they take time, don't they?
And again, just to repeat, the two women you represent fear for their lives and are currently in hiding?
Yes, absolutely.
And is that from, like, online threats, or have people rung them up, or has anybody physically confronted them?
Look, they've got a reasonable basis for their fears.
Oh dear. All right, look, thank you for your time, and I appreciate you coming on. John Karantzis there, partner and head of personal injury law and litigation at Carbone Lawyers. Well, what have we learned? A, he said it was the most degrading and disgusting thing he'd seen in 28 years of legal practice. B, there were more than 5 men present when this behaviour allegedly occurred, at least one of whom was, well, a leader at the club and not a player. You can work out for yourself what that might mean. And again, I'll just point out, in 1 hour and 15 minutes, the Swans are giving a press conference. We'll bring that to you live. So maybe there's more still to come out about this. The women want justice. They want a line in the sand. They'd like an apology, which they say they haven't received. And I would say to the AFL, thus far the AFL has done 3/5 of bugger all about this. And remember, the AFL does like to lecture people on, being pride-friendly and family-friendly and various other things. Well, now's the chance for Andrew Dillon and the AFL to step up.